Welcome students to Global Online. In this particular session, we are going to discuss more than 100 plus MCQs for the topic communication. These are the MCQs which are sorted out from most expected, most important MCQs based on your previous year question papers. What you have to do is you have to watch this MCQs till the end and ensure that you are doing well for your paper one so that you can, in one go, you can crack your paper one at the maximum. We also have brought paper 1 crash course for you. Paper 1 crash course comprises of live lectures. It is also comprising of revision notes, previous year question papers, that is 10-year question papers, and the mock test, which will be comprising of 2,500 questions. This all you will get at the Global Online app or on the WhatsApp number which is given on the screen. You can contact us on the WhatsApp number. The fees for the same is 3,500. Right now 30% discount is going, so the fees will be 2450. You also have a quick revision PDF which of MCQs, which comprises of your current affair MCQs, previous year question papers, most expected questions, as well as the repeated questions, and this will be consisting of 2000 plus MCQs, and this will help you to revise your every topic in one go with the help of one PDF. We also have paper 2 notes as well as MCQs. The subjects of paper 2s are reflected on the screen, which you can see. This is available at 1500, that is the fees is 1500. Right now 30% discount is going on, so this particular entire notes and MCQs for paper 2 are available at 1050 depending upon your subject of paper 2.
Noise is known as what? Is it a transmitting barrier? Is it a receiving barrier? It's a center barrier, or it is none of this. So noise is nothing but it is one of the barrier which is, which travels when the message is been sent and the message has been received. So yeah, the right answer, it means the noise is one of the transmitting barrier. Next question: which of the following is not the part of which of the following is not the part of information? Logical, formal, impersonal, or perception? So out of this, which of them is not the part of that is not the part of information? So the right answer is perception, because perception is, it's like you are thinking, you're not giving an information, but you are thinking something for your own. So perception is an odd man out. Just read the question very carefully. It is talking about what? It is talking about not the part of communication. Next, bright light in a classroom is a type of which barrier? Okay, is it a physical distraction? It's an emotional distraction? Is it a channel, or it's none of this? So definitely channel. And sorry, I mean to say, you have one of the answer out of this, that is, it's not a emotional distraction. Okay, it's not none of this. So your B, ideally B and D, it gets cancelled. So if you have a doubt between these two, okay, whether it's a physical distraction or it's a channel. So if you know that channel is a medium, okay, basically bright light is nothing but it is one of the physical distraction. Next, closed circuit television, that is called a CCT, is useful for what? Only for a restricted audience residing at a particular place, or it is for a large group of communication, only for poor students of the class, or it is for none of this. So definitely poor students will not come, so none of this gets cancelled. So you have an option as A and B, where you can read the question very properly and fine. So CCTV is basically a particular, I mean, there's a circuit which is useful only for, restricted audience. It gets captured only within the space or area which it, it has its wavelength reaching. So definitely the option is your option number one. Next, all are the examples of media of two-way communication. media of two-way. Okay, that is meeting, padiyatra, street plays, or procession. So out of these, all are two ways except one. So here, if you see public meeting, padiyatra, or street plays, or procession and rallies where the people hear and listen, but out of this, only one in which people just listen, that is nothing but it is your option number C, that is street play. So here the right answer is street play. Next, listening to a lecture. Is it a informational listening, evaluative listening, empathetic listening, or it is none of this? So obviously none of this will not come. Okay, evaluating listening, you don't do it. So you have two options left, out of which you need to remember very well. So listening to a lecture is not an empathetic listening. It is just called as what? Informational listening, where you get a information or knowledge regarding to the topic which you are listening for. Next, which of the following is not a transmitting barrier? Transmitting, physical distraction, emotional transfer, conflicting message, or channel barrier, which cannot get transfer from one person to another. So the right answer here is emotional transfer. You can't transfer the emotions, okay, from one person to another. So this is not a transmitting barrier. Next, if a student doesn't like his or her teacher and so he is never been able to understand the lecture, then it is known as what? Is it a lack of interest? It's emotional distraction, it's physical distraction, or it's lack of sensitivity. Teacher, if a student doesn't like her teacher, okay, so there is, there is no liking. There is casually no like. I mean to say, there is formally no liking for the teacher, and is never able to understand the lecture. So such type of distraction is called as what? Emotional distraction, because emotionally you are not able to bond to the people. I mean to say, whether it is your teacher or anyone else, so you're not able to have that emotional bonding, and hence it is called as what? Emotional distraction. Next, which of the following is not an element of communication? It's encoder, receiver, breakdowns, all are the elements of communication. So yes, we have encoder, we have receiver, we have breakdowns and communication. So ideally there is, nothing, all are the elements of communication. Okay, is not I mean to say here, this we don't know what is elements. Okay, so here all the elements of communication is the right answer. Okay. Next, communication word is derived from which of form of a verb of which language? A form of verb from which language? Whether it is Latin, whether it's French, whether it's German or Italian. So the right answer here is Italian. Okay. So this is very factual. You have to remember this very well. Communication word is derived from a verb of which language? That is nothing but Latin language. Next. According to Berlo, communication has how many elements? I have taken this model in the last video also. That is in the last test also. This particular question was asked, but in a different way. So you have, if you know, sender, message, okay, channel, and receiver. So there are how many elements? Basically, there are 4 elements. So the right answer is option number 1. Next, informal communication within the organization. We have been seeing this question comes again and again. So you have to be very, very careful. Informal communication. Is it intrapersonal? No. It is interpersonal? No. It is intrapersonal? No. Is it a mass communication? No. So the right answer is grapevine. So your option number D is the right answer. Next, which of the following skills has the largest share in communication time in school and college? Okay, so in school and college, which plays important or the largest part? So normally in school and college is what we do, we listen to the lectures. So listening, reading, writing, speaking. So basically what we do listening, and then only we can do the rest of the part. So which plays the largest skill? So that is nothing but it is listening. So the right answer is listening skills. Next, Which of the following methods or methods of the which of the following methods is most effective? Okay, here the question, which of the following methods is the most effective? Presenting writing material along with the film projector, multimedia, or cannot be determined. So cannot be determined is not an option. Okay, only presenting writing material definitely will not. Film projector, you don't have it everywhere if it is not possible. So the right method will be multimedia method. So the right answer is option number 3. Next, teaching on TV is superior to the classroom instructions because we very large classes are made possible and thus it is economically advantageous. Experts for teaching a difficult topic can be arranged and others can be benefited out of it. Teaching material can be filmed or reused, all of this. So if you read the instructions very carefully, yes, we have a right answer is what? All of this, because it's economical, beneficial, as well as it can be reused. So the right answer for this question is all of this. Next, the process of communication enhances through belongingness, yes. Security and freedom of making choices, yes. Informality of meeting and avoidance pressure, all of this. So yes, I mean to say the right answer here will be what? The right answer here will be all of this, because the process of communication helps us to enhance all the things, giving the belongingness, security, freedom, informality, and avoidance of the pressure. Next, which of the following doesn't come under lack of communication skills? Lack. See, please read the question very carefully. Where they, many a times they make you, they twist you the questions with such words. So weak reading and listening, weak professional and literal vocabulary, bad voice, or construction of listening. So here, which does not comes under lack of skills. Rest all are lack, but concentration of listening is what? Not a lack. So the right answer here is option number D. Next, communication means what? Is it exchange of ideas, transfer from one place to another to understand an idea? None of this. So if you see, communication is nothing but basically it is called as what? Exchange of ideas. So the right option here is option number A. Next, communication involves a series of what? Reaction, action, both A and B, and thoughts only. So definitely it is not only thoughts, it is reaction as well as action. So your right answer will be on both A as well as B. That is option number 3. Next, a message is what is actually transmitted, what a receiver actually receives, what a communication actually produces. None of this. So obviously none of this will not come. What a communication actually produces, okay, or what a receiver actually receives, or what is actually transmitted. So it's a message. We are talking about what? We are talking about message. So here the right answer is what a receiver actually receives is called as what? A message. Option number B is the right answer. Next, encoding is the formulation of messages in communicator's mind, the formulation of messages in receiver's mind, coding of whole communication process. None of this. So yes, this definitely cannot be the right answer. Okay, why? Because it's not about the whole communication process. Encoding, formulation of messages in the communicator's mind. Encoding and then decoding is done. Okay, so it is the option, the right option is what? Option number 1, that is encoding the message in communicator's mind. Next, 21. That is, communicator is a person who initiates the process of communication, who completes the communication, who controls the communication process, and avoids the communication process. So, who is the communicator? The communicator avoids will definitely not come. Control will not come. Okay, initiates or completes. So if you have the choice between both, so your right answer is a one, which where the communicator initiates the communication process. He starts with the communication process. Next, the channel is what? Medium which carries the message, and agent an agent who encodes or decodes all of this. So we don't have this because there is nothing called as agent. It is just represented as what? It is represented as the medium which carries the message. So the right answer is option number A. Next, which of the following mediums is most mechanical? Mechanical, it means where you make use of lot of tools or technological upgradations. So is it public meeting? Is it radio? Is it cinema or is newspaper? So if it is more mechanical and as per the technology wise regarding all the aspects, so it is none other than the answer is option number C, that is cinema. Okay, so right answer is option number C. Next, the reach of different modes of media is called as the reach of different modes of media. Is it media reach? Is it media access? It is media exposure or it is media effects? So here it is nothing but it is called as media reach. The answer is media reach. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, we have the question is different modes of the to reach the different mode of media, that is media access to reach. It means here you can go and assess the things, not reaching. I'm extremely sorry, just correct me over here. It's not reach, it is media access. Next, an interpretation which occurs at any point of communication. Is it noise? It is barrier? It's distortion? Or it's all of this? So all of this is not the answer. So whether it is called a noise, whether it is called a barrier, or whether it is called as distortion. So the right answer for this is that is distortion. A, an interpretation which occurs at any point of it is nothing but it is called as what? Distortion. Next, free press theory prescribes that. This is one of the word in communication, free press theory. So it is basically about your views, about your opinions. So here when any of the person who wishes to who is free to go with what he feels, here is called as what? Free press theory. So the press should be exempted from the tax, press should get free travel facility, or press should get free communication facility. Definitely these are not the right answers which you see. So it's about individual should be free to publish what he likes. Next, that is our option number D is the right answer. Next, which we go, which of the following media can be used effectively in large group communication? Is it a television? It's overhead projector, video, or computer. So definitely video and computer are not the option. Okay, so right option here is the overhead projector, which we can use for the large group. Okay, to show the PPT, to show the slides, and with the help of that, your audiences can catch what you're, uh, what you want to communicate. Next, which process of communication is best for controlling noise? Saying don't talk, raising one's voice above student's voice, remaining calm and just looking at the student, continue teaching without caring for the noise. The best way to control us, definitely A and B are not option. But here the best option is you remaining calm and looking at the student. That will make them automatically control their noise, and you can start with your process of teaching. So the right option is option number C. Discussion in the class will be more effective if the topic of discussion is not introduced, stated before the discussion, written on blackboard, inform the students well in advance. So obviously not introduced and written on the blackboard are the not options. Stated before the start of the discussion or inform students well in advance. If you see the right answer from this, that is informing students well in advance, not stated before. Here they can't do anything. So basically it is what? Basically it is about informing them well in advance. Next, the communication which transpires inside a person. Inside. So within a person it's nothing but it is called as internal, mass, or group. So it is called as intrapersonal communication. So your right answer is option number A. Next, rhetoric means it's like one of the effective communication to pursue it, to pursue someone. So is it an art of entry, source of possibility, both A and B, or none of this? So the right answer is source of pursuing. So that is, it's called as rhetoric communication. Next, poor ventilation in the class is known as computing stimulus, subjective stress, environmental stress, or none of this. Poor ventilation. So basically, it is nothing but it is the environment which is not allowing you to concentrate. So that is called as environmental stress. So the right answer is option number C. Next, which of the following cannot be used for deaf students? Is it blackboard, 3D hologram projector, the globe, or the microphone? So obviously, deaf students, you will be not using what? You will be not using the microphone. Okay, this is the right answer. Next, all are the components of listening except hearing, being attentive, attending, answering, understanding, and remembering, which are the not all are the components of listening except components of listening. So except what? Answering, which does not falls under the category of components of listening. It's answering, it means you are speaking. So the right answer is option number C. Next, the carrier of mass communication is mass media, print media, electronic, or none of this. So basically the carrier of mass communication is none other than it is called as mass media. Okay, the option number A is the right answer. Next, social responsibility theory of press is based on what? See, social responsibility. Media serves essential functions in the society. Society is responsible for the function of press. Press should perform social duties, none of this. So basically it is society who's responsible for the what sorry it is basically it is media which serves an essential function in the society, social responsibility. So media that serves an essential function, it means they take the care in the society about do's and don'ts. That is media which serves essential function in the society. Next, communication research undertakes specific study, normal study, general study, or none of this. So, if you see, communication research does not take any of this into consideration. So, the right answer is none of this. Communication is a process of process. What does it means? So, is it sorry, here the answer is already reflected, but just read the question very well. Communication is a process. What does it means? It's an ongoing process, always in motion. It is hard to tell when communication starts and stops. There is no definite time. Communication is always moving forward and changing continuously. Yes, very true. So the right answer for this is all of this. Next, feedback is immediate reaction of receiver, response of receiver to communicator's message, analysis done by the receiver to communicator's message, none of this. Okay, so here what is feedback? It's basically the process of communication which gets completed with the feedback. So it is nothing but it is the response of the receiver to response. Very, very important to the communicator's message. So the right answer is option number B, that is response of receiver. Next, which of the following is not true about communication? It's systematic. Communication is a process. Yes, communication is a message and must have a meaning. So ideally, which is not true. So all are true. The right answer is option number D. According to Crowley, which of the following can be result of social isolation? Is it stress? Is it disease? It's early death or all of this? So any of these conditions will lead you to social isolation. You will be away from the people. So the right answer is all of this. Question number 42. Which of the following depicts the correct sequence? Message channel receiver encoder decoder, encoder message channel decoder feedback, encoder channel message decoder system, none of this. So the right answer for this question, none of this will not come. Okay, this also will not come. So whether it is B or C. So the right answer for here is B, that is encoder, message, channel, decoder, and then the feedback. Just remember very well, the message which passes through the channel decoded by the decoder, and then the feedback comes. Next, the communication between two individuals is called as what? Is called as intrapersonal, mass, inter, or group, between two people. So that is called as intra. When it is between within the self, uh, it is called as intra, and between two it is called as inter. So the right answer here is interpersonal communication. Next, the basic process of communication comprises of sender, message, receiver, channel, sender, channel, message, receiver, sender, receiver, message, channel, sender, message, receiver, channel. So if see, this is not an option, okay, out of this, okay, this is also not an option. So here, out of A and B, what is the right answer? The right answer is A, that is sender, message, and channel, and receiver. So sender sends the message by the channel, and the receiver receives the message. Next, which is the feedback in newspaper communication? Whether it is article, whether it is editorials or letter to editor or news. Feedback means when we read the article, we write back to them. So it is called as what? Letter to editor. So the feedback is in the form of letter to editor. Next, communication in classroom often fails because students are inactive, the teacher is monotonous, students have no interest, or there is very much noise. So this is not an option. This is not an option. Even this is not an option. So it's about what? Monotonous. It means the same volume, the tone. So that makes the class very, often the communication fails. So the answer is, that is option number B. Next, major limitations of mass communication is it's very costly, the feedback is weak, more time is required, and the success depends upon the producer. But the major, all are feedback. But what is the major is that the feedback is weak. It's very, very weak. Okay, there is no guarantee of feedback coming in such type of communications. Next, the most powerful barrier of communication is noise, confusion, disturbance, or lack of teaching aid. So, the most powerful barrier out of all the four is confusion on the part of teacher. If the teacher gets confused, definitely the students cannot be, very well versed with the knowledge. So, here the right option is option number B. Effective communication will make the receiver enjoy it, accept it, pass it on to the others, or think about it. So basically, effective communication enjoys, the way the communication receives, the communication is done and provided to the receiver. So that is the option number A is the right answer. Next, communication will be effective if it is delivered slowly and clearly, if it is delivered in a calm situation, if it reaches the receiver completely, if it reaches the receiver intended by the sender. So here, what is its complete sentence? Receiver and the way it is intended by the sender. So the right answer is your option number D. Okay, so here we are with our last question. I just request everyone that just put on keeping the scores, so it helps us to come up with the frame of or set of questions for your upcoming mock test. So thank you everyone. Do not forget to put the scores, and if you feel you need to get more details, you can go to the channel, subscribe it, and keep studying and ensuring that your preparation is just increasing and uh, giving you the best results of your efforts. Thank you, everyone, and we will meet you in the next mock test.
Talks about interpersonal communication is based on arena, facade, blind spot, all the above. Arena is nothing but it is called as the place. Facade, it is an attractive part, like an attractive part of a building, the attractive part of communication. Blind spot, okay, the like for example, which has to be avoided. And what, so interpersonal communication is based on what? So it is based on all the above mentioned. So the right answer for this question is all the above. Next question. Internal and external factors that affect message reception by the students in the classrooms are referred to as. Now, internal and external factors, which I mean to say, which have been communicated in the classroom, can be affected due to what? So, definitely, whether it is internal or whether it is external, the options given over here: feedback, fragmentation, channelization, noise. But obviously it will be affected with what? It will be affected with noise as one of the obstacle. So the right answer is option number D, that is noise. Let's come to the third question. Iconic production of classroom communication includes. Now, when we say iconic, it is influential. So when we are talking about the influential communication in the classroom, will it be affected by email, graphics, telephone, or scripting? So obviously it is going on this classroom, how you make it very influential. That can happen only with the help of what? It with the help of graphics. Now see, this is very common question to think over it. Email, it's when it comes to classroom communication, email, telephone, or script. Okay, script, it means okay, what is conveyed. But rather than that, you can attract your students more with your graphics rather than anything of this else. So for this, the right question is graphics. That is option number B. Next question. It is estimated that the meaning derived by the students from non-verbal communication in relation to verbal communication is what amount? So before we go through this question, this is one of the factual questions. So आप ये जो next screen है, you can just take a screenshot of this. ये थोड़ा useful होगा आपके लिए. Questions किसी भी way से आ सकते हैं. So if you see the model which is given by Dr. Albert Mehrabian, he says that words in communication content, the content of the words, it takes in percentage how much? 7%. When it comes to vocal elements, it is contributed by 38%. अभी vocal elements में क्या क्या आता है? Pitch, tone, rate, volume, intonation, rhythm. And when it comes to non-verbal communication, जैसे gestures है, postures है, facial expressions है, so it contributes 55%. अभी आपका क्वेश्चन क्या दिया है? दैट इज यस, नॉन वर्बल का मेजॉरिटी है. सो दैट इज 2/3 परसेंटेज इज कंट्रीब्यूटेड बाय द नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. सो जस्ट मेक अ नोट ऑफ दिस. ये थोड़ा सा डायग्राम भी आप स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रख दीजिए. अदरवाइज इफ यू आर वाचिंग दिस वीडियो एंड इफ यू हैव योर नोट पैड विथ यू राइट नाउ, तो आप इसी यहाँ ये इंपॉर्टेंट नोट्स में डाल दीजिए. सो दिस परसेंटेज एंड द एलिमेंट्स, तो आपको थोड़ा इजी होगा if any type of question comes. Next, which of the following principles as a good communicator should follow? Now see, as I always tell you, ऐसे type के questions में you go for downsizing options. कौन से principles communicator follow करते हैं? A good communicator follows. Let's go to the option. He should stay organized. He should avoid use of visuals. He should be authoritarian. He must adjust to the medium, and he should prefer the method of storytelling. So if a good communicator पूछा है, तो obviously he should be authoritarian, तो आएगा नहीं, you can cancel. He should avoid visuals, तो होगा नहीं. Okay, so now see 1, 4, 5 आपको options में है. See 3 and 2 तो होगे ही नहीं, so you can just cancel this out. तो आपका the answer which you're getting is 1, 4, 5. Yes, it is, all the points tells that they are the principles of good communicators. So here the right option is option number D. The next is differences between acceptance and non-acceptance of certain stimuli, that is reaction. In the classroom, communication is a basis of what? यानी अगर आपको differences, I mean to say acceptance or non-acceptance के बीच आपको, like for example, if you have to go for a reaction base, so वो कौन सा होगा? Selective expectations of the performance, selective affiliation to peer groups, selective attention, selective morality. But if you see performance नहीं होगा, affiliation नहीं होगा, morality नहीं होगा, so it will be what? Selective attention. So here your right option is option number C.
Next question. Which of the following elements good communication should adopt? Okay. Concrete, courtesy, filibustering, fictionalization, coherence. And you have to choose from the above. Okay. यहाँ पे भी अगर आप देखोगे, we have studied, I mean, since our graduation days, we have studied very well 6 C's of communication, that is concrete and courtesy. तो ये तो होना ही है. Option number 1 and 2 is there. Okay, coherence also we have studied. So option number 1, 2, 3. But still, I mean to say, अगर आपको फिर भी, you should know that what this means. Filibustering is nothing but delaying or blocking. या तो negative हो जाता है. So it should, good communication में negativity होनी नहीं चाहिए. So we should avoid this. So this will be cancelled. So filibustering, it means that delaying or blocking. Fictionalization, it means just an imaginary which we can't take in into good communication. So if you see your correct options 1, 2, and 5, okay, that is your option number C should be your right answer. Okay, here's this your option number C. Next, इफेक्टिव एजुकेशनल कम्युनिकेशन इज, अगर आपको कम्युनिकेशन, एजुकेशनल कम्युनिकेशन को इफेक्टिव बनाना है, नॉन रेसिप्रोकल, रिपीटेटिव, कंटिन्यूअस, कोहेसिव. नाउ सी, नॉन रेसिप्रोकल अलग होता है. रिपीटेटिव आप इसको रोट लर्निंग या मेमोरी रोट लर्निंग को यू कैन गिव एन बर्थ टू द रोट लर्निंग विच शुड बी अवॉइडेड. ओके, cohesive, it should not be there. So definitely what will be your right answer, that is continuous. Effective communication के लिए continuity होनी बहुत जरूरी है. So your right option is continuous. Okay, going to the next question. Successful successful communication, educational communication is dependent upon the skills of. यानी अगर successful educational communication है, so it should depend upon which skills? Understanding the negative characteristics, verbal communication and body language, estimating the time for audience impact, analyzing the audience need. So obviously negative characteristics to aayega hi nahi. So A cannot be an option. Okay. Now, when we talk about estimating audience time impact, C also cannot be, C cannot be an option. So ये भी आपका cancel हो जाता है. So your option actually is verbal communication and body language, and analyzing the needs of the audience, what exactly audience need. So here your right option is option number 4. Next question. Assertion and reason. So when we talk about assertion and reason, we know that we just can get into touch with question, not with any other intention of going through the question. So like let's understand what it tells. Now it's talking about uh, assertion in the form of pedagogy and social interaction are two major result oriented activities of a teacher. Pedagogy, a teaching technique. Social interaction is one of them. It's an act, it is a activity, result oriented activity. Reason क्या बोल रहा है? Communication has a limited role in this activity. अगर आप देखोगे पेडागॉगी एंड इंटरेक्शन के लिए कम्युनिकेशन का तो मेजर रोल होगा. सो यहाँ पे ए हो जाता है आपका ट्रू and R हो जाता है आपका false. But yes, there is no matching of the explanation. So it's just a simple sentence which talks about true and false. So the explanation part will be deleted. A true है, R false है. So if you see, your right answer is option number C. That is this answer is true and R is false. Okay, this is one of the examination question in my daily teaching aptitude. Sorry, in the daily revision lectures also series also, this question was been taken in by me in one of the video. So just remember, like you can get the question is in front of you again and again. Maybe upcoming exams में इसका intention of twisting the questions कुछ अलग हो सकता है. So just ensure that you are understanding the concepts and you're going through the practice. Next, the interaction between a teacher and a students create a zone of proximal. Which zone of proximal? Either it is difference, confusion, development, or distortion. Now let's see this again. Here is a diagram for you. Now see, when we talk about a learner, certain things learner can do on his own, okay, where he do not require any help. For certain things, he requires an assistance, and certain things a learner cannot do at all. So when he requires an assistance, that is with the help of a teacher, that is just to develop the learner. So when we are talking about this
the interaction between a teacher and a student, which creates which type of proximal zone? That is nothing but it creates a zone of development. So your right answer for this is option number 3. Then next we have is, which of the following will help to overcome communication barrier? अगर आपको barrier, if you have a barrier, आपको कौन सा इसमें से कौन से options आपको barrier overcome करने के लिए help करेगा, okay, दूर करने के लिए help करेगा? So that is focus listening, neglecting semantic structure, top down command structure, use of clutch idioms. So yes, अगर आपको बैरियर ओवरकम करना है, इट इज वेरी क्लियर, अगर आपको कम्युनिकेशन बैरियर ओवरकम करना है तो आपका ध्यान सिर्फ और सिर्फ किस पे होना चाहिए? अ फोकस्ड लिसनिंग. सो योर ऑप्शन राइट, बिकॉज इफ यू डू दैट, रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स विल बी टेकन केयर. सो योर ऑप्शन राइट आंसर फॉर दिस इज फोकस लिसनिंग. Now, which of the following theories can be applied in classroom communication? Now, in this question, let's assume कि आपको theories पता नहीं है. You have not, you have not read the theories. So when you talk about such theories, just focus on the question once again कि कौन सी theories can be applied in classroom communication. Classroom communication में जहाँ पे teacher है, जहाँ पे learner है या student है. So basically, why teacher communicates with a learner or a student? So if you see, to transform him, to develop him, so it means that to get a constructivity out of it. So here, which theory goes with the statement is theory of social constructivism. Okay, audience marginalization theory में यहाँ पे आपको पता नहीं है which type of audience they are talking about. Ritualistic theory में it is basic rituals. That is theory of hegemony. It is talking about dominance. So it will not be allowed. But if you see the question and read it and understand it in different way, here you will definitely get the right answer. That is theory of social constructivism is the right answer for this option. Next, active listening, reading, or viewing information to gain a complete and accurate understanding of the communicated message. Which of the following is referred to? यानी अगर आपको अच्छे से सुनना है या पढ़ना है या व्यू करना है तो कौन इसमें से कौन से ऑप्शंस आपको you will give you that all what is needed. Critical listening, academic writing skills, revision and editing, audience awareness. Now here also if you see with the options, writing तो हम नहीं बोल रहे. Okay, we are talking about overall. So academic writing skills focus will be on the academic part. Revision and editing definitely not. Audience awareness no, awareness है, बाकी ये का options यहाँ पे बता नहीं रहे. So it is about what? It is about critical listening. Will help you to go for all this activities. That is active listening, reading, and viewing. If you go for a critical listening. Then next you have is question number 15, an understanding of an ability to use gestures, expressions, and non-verbal cues to help communicate a message. Which of the following is referred as? अगर आपको ये सब जो ऊपर points करने हैं, okay, so which of the activity will help you to do that? Okay, whether it is critical listening, personal presentation and body language, revision and editing, presentation of technical and scientific data. Now gestures है जहाँ पे हम where we do not make use of we make use of only signs and symbols. So यहाँ पे it much depends upon what it talks much about your body language. So personal presentation and body language, that is your option number B is the right answer. Next, an understanding of the use of images, graphs, and other methods to simply present the data concisely. Now, present the data, graphs, images इसमें use किए हैं. So यहाँ पे critical listening, body language, revision and editing, and presentation of technical or scientific data is important. So obviously, when you're using all these concepts, so your presentation of technical and scientific data is important. No body language, no critical listening, and no revision and editing. So your option number D is the right option. Next, major limitation of mass communication is, mass communication के सबसे बड़ा disadvantage क्या है? The success of the program depends upon the procedure. More time is required to produce the message. The feedback system is weak. It is very costlier for the receiver. Yes, the biggest disadvantages.
The feedback system of this particular communication is very weak. We can't guarantee it. So the right answer for this is the feedback system is very weak. Next, TV channel which is launched for covering engineering and technological subjects. Gyan Darshan Vyas Eklavya Kisan. Now, Gyan Darshan, it's an initiative by IGNU for, educational programs. Okay. And the rest, that is Eklavya. It talks about an educational program, TV channel launch, but it takes care about what? It takes care about engineering and technological domain. So if you see, this is again, I have written a little a note about it. It is about a distance learning initiative which is brought by IIT and IGNU. Okay, iska objective kya hai? That is the classrooms virtually at the doorsteps with the intention of engineering and technological domain. So the right answer is Eklavya. Okay, then gangplank implies. Now this is a management concept. Okay, gangplank, or it is called as scalar chain. I'll just take you to the diagram. Now see, this is how it looks. Either it is called as gangplank or scalar chain. Now in this diagram represents an organization. ये एक organization है, और इस organization में these are the levels, various levels. Okay, that is, it talks with lower level, middle level and top level. So suppose, like for example, one lower level wants to give a message off to the other lower level. So ये एक department है और ये another department है. तो message को अगर यहाँ से यहाँ पे pass होना है, okay, normally क्या होता है, they have to go with hierarchies. They have to inform their immediate bosses and then they will get a reply and then the work will happen. But gangplank एक ऐसा, it means it is that type of facility based things where it will give a help to the person. Okay, to person in such a way that if there is an emergency, if there is something which is very urgent, he can directly contact the concerned person and get the work done, and then he can keep the bosses, immediate bosses in loop. But यहाँ पे वो आपको रोकते नहीं है to get the work done faster. So यहाँ पे if you see the options, gangplank implies quick communication, vertical, horizontal, none. So it is, I said, it makes the communication faster without following the protocol. So here it is quick communication. The answer is quick communication. The right answer is quick communication. Communication is quite often between the line and staff functions, cross, horizontal, vertical, upward. Communication between line and staff. एक ही ये सेम क्वेश्चन लास्ट मॉक सीरीज में भी मैंने डाला था. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन एक एग्जाम्पल के साथ दिया था. यू आर वर्किंग इन वन ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट एंड योर को कलीग्स विल बी व्हाट. सो द सेम थिंग इज line and staff. Here it is, you're at equal panel, so it is called as horizontal communication. The answer here is horizontal communication. Now see, the same question, but the pattern of giving the question is different. So you should know all the ways in which the board can give you the, NTA board can give you the questions in any form. In a twisted form, you should be very clear with your concepts. Let's move to the next one. Which of the following statement explain interpersonal skills? Interpersonal, between a group of people or from one person to another person. So the skills that a person uses to interact with other people skills or communication skills. It explains how people relate to one another and all about. Yes, so it's basically, it is the people skill. So your right option is what? Your option number D, that is all the above. Then we have the test effectiveness of instruction is, अगर आपको instruction की effectiveness find out करनी है, it depends upon what? Sufficient use of audio visuals, maintenance of discipline, effectiveness of learning and attendance. So obviously instructions की जो effectiveness है वो किससे decide की जाती है? It is based on what? The effectiveness of learning. So your right option here is the third option, option C. Next, teacher's communication will be more effective when teacher discusses previous year's question paper, teacher is a master of his subject, prepares a good number of instructional aids, he starts from what students already know. So here if you see the option, the right option is here, it prepares a good number of instructional aids to make the lessons attractive. Okay, to make the content, attention of the students. So your right option is option number C, prepares a good number of instructional materials or aids. Next, What is the ultimate goal while planning the instructional procedure? To make classes instructing and meaningful, to enable the pupils to secure high, to realize all the development goals are anticipated, and to ensure that the people master the learning. तो यहाँ पे अगर जब इंस्ट्रक्शंस का प्रोसीजर बनाया जाता है, प्लान किया जाता है, तो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट है दैट इज टू रियलाइज द डेवलपमेंट गोल्स आर एंटिसिपेटेड. सी, हम बच्चों के बारे में जब भी सोचते हैं, वी हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम एन डेवलपमेंटल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. So developmental development, bringing a development or achieving the development goals is an intention. So here the correct option is option number C. The next one. Dynamics of interpersonal communications are body language, facial expression, posture, movements. Yes, everything matters when you're talking to the people, whether it is your facial expression, your language, body language, your posture, and your movements. So your right option is option number D, sorry, that is all the above. Next, a founder of critical thinking. Who has founded the concept of critical thinking? It's factual based question. So here the answer is Socrates. Socrates is the one who has given the base for the foundation for the critical thinking. So your right answer is option number C. Next, an individual uses space when communicating with others, a distance which is to be maintained. So what is that called? Paradigm, proxemics, or space communication, or none of the following? So the right answer here with distance or space is called as proxemics. So the option number B is your right answer. The ability to put oneself in another person's role is termed as what? To put oneself in another person's role. So it will be called as apathy, synergy, empathy, and feedback. It's called as empathy. Okay, communication has to be empathetic. The role should be empathetic, so that is empathy. It's where it includes every quality. It includes your generousness, your politeness, your your attentive listening. So it should have that in the communication as well as in the person. So option C is the right option. Then we have next. Teams are made up of individuals who operates across space and time and who communicate mainly through technologies, electronic gadgets or technology. So these teams are called as what? Virtual, effective, cohesive, difunctional. Okay, difunctional will definitely not. Cohesive is itself is a team. Effective, it should be. So basically, we are talking about what? We are talking about the technology. So it should be what type of communication? It should be your virtual communication, that is virtual way. So the right option is option number A. Next we have is when people talk to themselves, communication takes place within the brain. What type of communication? People talk to themselves, oneself. Themselves, it means oneself. They can confuse you with the words, so be careful. Is it inter non-verbal, intra or mass communication? When the person is talking to oneself, it is called as interpersonal communication. Okay, oneself could say. Okay, then which of the following is also refers as didactic communication or communication between two individuals, between two people? So it is called as interpersonal. One person talking to other or two people. That is option number 1 is here the right answer. Next, a communication between a family of three talking at a supper, that is while having their food, or a meeting or an organization with a few members is an example of. See, family of three, okay, or a meeting where it is three. It is not interpersonal because it's more than two. It's not intra because it is more than, not, they're not talking to the self, they're talking to others. It is not a huge thing where we can't call it as public. So interpersonal not there, public it's not there, intrapersonal not. So it's called as what? The small group communication. So here your option number D is the right option. Next one. Which of the following is not correct? Please remember this word. Whenever you are having such type of questions, you represent the questions very well. Read it very well. Not. The essential feature of internal communication process in an organization, which does not have essential feature. It involves shared meaning. It involves people. So
It is symbolic, and it requires instruments like radio. So yes, these three are expected. So it does not involve share meaning. It means that certain things cannot be accepted the way it is by us and by the others. So it does not involve shared meaning. The right option is option number A. Next, which of the following is not important hindrance to effective communication? That is, importance obstacle: language difficulty, status distance, resistance to change, employee relationship with management. It's not an hindrance, okay? So language definitely, it's an hindrance. Status also, resistance to change also can be hindrance. So employee relationship with management cannot be an hindrance. It can be taken care of. So your right option is option number D. Next, which of the following principle is useful guide for establishing good communication? When the communication considers to be good, when with the feedback, with the attention, with balance, none. So no, it is considered to be best with the feedback. Feedback ends the process of communication. So your right option is option number 1. Okay. Communication can be upward, downward, sideway, diagonal. You can call it as diagonal also, or you all the above. So yes, communication can be any upward, downward, sideway. Okay, so all the above. The answer is here. Right answer is all the above. Okay. Formal communication is based on. Now, here we are talking about formal communication, which is business communication, a professional communication. It's based on chain. It's based on scalar chain. Grapevine will be not an option. It's informal. None of the above, it's not an option. So basically, if it is formal, it has to. I have shown you the example of scalar chain and gangplank. Okay, where as I told you that you have to, when you have to talk to your boss. Okay, so you will be talking to your boss, then it has to be very formal, one by one, towards one, and each step. So it has to be, it is called as what? It is none other than scalar chain. So your option number B is the right option. Next, classroom communication of a teacher rests on the principle of the communication in the classroom can be on what? Infotainment, it's only information and entertainment. Edutainment, that is education plus entertainment. Only entertainment, only enlightenment, definitely not. So information given by the teacher should always have education, plus it should be also an entertainment. So it's called as edutainment. Okay, that is option number B is the right answer. Next, communication via media, computers, teleshopping, internet, mobile telephony is termed as what? So, with this help, do we entertain ourselves? Do we interact? Do we develop? Do we communitarian? So, basically, if you see, we interact. Okay, it is called as interactive communication. So, here the option number B is the right option. Next, which of the following alternative is representing the effective communication? What will be effective communication? Teacher cracking jokes. Teacher should impact multidimensional sensory influence. The teacher should speak authoritatively. Teacher should teach what is beneficial to the student. So definitely C and A options are out. Okay, but here sensory influence, only doing that, it's better teacher teach what is the beneficial for the child or what is beneficial for the student. So here your option number D is the right answer. Next, what is the essential step for an effective communicator? Selecting a channel, think about evaluation, determine the objective of communication, identify the medium. See, before you do all this, channel is important, evaluation is important, medium is also important. But before you do all this, it is very important for you to communicate why you are communicating. It means your objectives plays an important role. So that is your option number C is the right answer. Next question. Which of the following cannot, now see, be careful, a good way of communication in promoting literacy among villagers? Demonstration, reading and writing, providing material on TV, large group discussion. So basically, literacy. So villagers who may be, the remote places where the illiteracy rate has still not been improved. So in such case, you doing anything with the help of reading and writing, especially writing, can, yeah, can cause a very big trouble. So that here the right option is option number B. Okay. Next, one will be an effective communicator if he's humorous, his historic he has historic talent,
is very clear what he communicates. He communicates in one's mother tongue. So effective. So humorous is of no use. Historic is of no use. Clear with the what he communicates. Yes, there has to be clarity in his communication. And using mother tongue at a very adult age is not, is not an effective communicator. It is only used when the child has to be prepared with the natural atmosphere. So here your point number C tends to be a right option. Okay. If a person replies like I see or huh, then it is known as, it means, see, we do not understand someone saying like that. We do not understand whether it's yes or whether it's no. It's like in a dilemma whether it can be yes or no. So is it positive? Definitely not. It's not negative also, but it's ambiguous. Now ambiguous, it means you're not able to, it's not clear. Okay, the clarity is not mentioned. So your right option is option number C. Next, communication with oneself. Now, here, see, the question is direct. I had taken two questions of the same topic, but with a different question set. Communication with, speaking in the mind. So here, there, it was not very clear. He's talking himself. The example was, little bit twisted. But here, they are telling it is very clearly that communication with oneself will be called as what? Oneself. So it is intrapersonal communication, intra, with your own self, whether it is your in your mind or heart. So such the right option here is intra. Okay. Next, the study of gestures and body postures for the impact of communication, body language, is called as what? Okay, whether it is called as kinesics, proximies, semantic, or informal channel. So we studied that proximies is about it's about distance. So body language is taken care by kinesthetics. So that is option number A is your right option. Then, a good communicator is the one who offers to his audience information, good amount of statistics, proof, reception of repetition of facts. So obviously, statistics in every communication cannot be used. Proof not required. Repetition of facts is not, may not be needed in some communication. But what is important is the plentiful of information. That is the option A is the right option for this question. Next, the term SITE stands for Satellite India Television Experiment, Satellite International Television, Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, and Satellite Instructional Teacher Education. It's one of the factual question. You have to be very clear with the full form. It's Satellite Instruction Television Experiment, which started in India in year 1975. Okay, which was a joint initiative by NASA and ISRO. Not only that, but this was used to ensure that the television programs reach to the rural areas of India and can make it impactful. So yes, that's the site stands for, that is Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, which is the option number 3. Okay, that is option 3 is the right answer for this. Then we have in communication, a major barrier to reception of a message is, okay, whether it is affected by audience attitude, knowledge, education, income. Income is definitely not. These three are there, but very close. It's your attitude. If you decide, not to listen, if you decide not to, if you decide to argue, then your attitude is like that. It is not allowing you to take the knowledge. So here the right answer is the attitude of the audience. That is audience attitude. The last one, that describes all the forms of communication that are not verbal. Okay. Now when we talk about verbal, prosody is verbal, rhythmic verbal, it is verbal. Okay. Vocalist, that is voice. Hapatus, that is that is touch. So basically here the describing all the forms of communication that are not verbal is the para language. The right answer for this question is option number D. So here we end up with our mock test series for the day. And as I said, you're getting the mock test series every day at 8 a.m. Just every lecture we are keeping on saying you, because it's not about pressure. हम आप पे pressure नहीं डाल रहे, but time थोड़ा कम है. आपको थोड़ा, you have to get set, prepare yourself well. Okay, and ensure that थोड़ा सा आप
hard work कर रहे हो, the results will be awesome if you, provided if you work hard for this. So just make a proper plan, keep on revising the small videos which come on daily basis. Also this mock test is going to help you a lot. So do not ever, break the chain of following the mock test, because once if it piles up, आप कल करोगे फिर बाद में करोगे, ऐसे में एग्जाम आ जाएगा, and it will be very difficult in one day or in, in a 1 week to cover everything. So it just requires 1 hour of a day to sit and calmly watch these videos and, note down certain points, just make a note of some important topics, and keep yourself updated with the practice. So thank you everyone. In the I mean to say, in the coming days, this mock test series are going to be on till your examination. So just take maximum benefit out of it. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.